UFO hacker tells what he found after hacking into NASA websites where he found images of extraterrestrial spaceships. The search for proof of the existence of UFOs landed Gary McKinnon in a world of trouble. If you think NASA has more information about UFOs than they are letting on, then you are not alone. In fact, you are part of the majority. The U.S. Space Agency and other space agencies are hiding information about extraterrestrial alien spacecraft. This idea shows up and has for years in internet forums, social media, TV shows, memes, and movies. Almost as interesting as any special secret is why it's kept secret. And for the existence of intelligent extraterrestrial life, the answers run the gamut, and they would cause too much peace, they would create too much chaos, they would give too much technology to too many people, or maybe they would just be a real disappointment. But it seems that what could be considered alternative theories, quote unquote, could be real. NASA hides the truth. It all started when a British hacker shared his findings after hacking into NASA files 2 decades ago. The United States tried to extradite Gary McKinnon after he gained access to NASA files and threatened the now 56-year-old former hacker with jail for more than 60 years. After lengthy appeals, then Interior Secretary Theresa May blocked McKinnon's extradition, and she has now spoken out about exactly what she found in NASA's computers. In an interview with the British newspaper The Sun, McKinnon claimed to have unearthed thousands of images, one of which was shown as a cigar-shaped alien spacecraft. McKinnon gained access to the images between February 2001 and March 2002, and is sure the space agency is, quote, covering up evidence of extraterrestrial life, end quote. He said, "It is a fact that there are objects that we do not understand that are flying in our skies. It's also a fact that there are scientific, intelligence, and military departments that study these objects." This is what McKinnon said. He said, "I was absolutely stunned, and those folders had thousands more images." By order of the U.S. authorities, McKinnon was arrested in 2002, and then again in 2005, told that his hacking caused more than $700,000 worth of damage. In blocking McKinnon's extradition in 2012, Theresa May cited McKinnon's Asperger's syndrome and Keir Starmer, who was director of public prosecutions at the time, and confirmed that the hacker would not face charges in the UK. McKinnon is certain that evidence of the UFOs is being hidden in the US and was inspired to hack NASA files after Donna Hare, a former NASA worker, claimed that the space agency had been deleting UFO evidence images. In an attempt to verify Hare's claim, McKinnon gained access to NASA files and claims to have seen 4 folders marked leaked without filter, processed, and unedited. However, due to his slow internet connection, McKinnon was only able to copy 1 image from the space agency folders, the image of a cigar-shaped spaceship. Several media outlets, including The Sun, have attempted to contact NASA for comment. However, per his policy, they have not and will not respond. Interestingly, last May, the U.S. Space Agency announced that it would intensify its efforts to search for answers to UFOs. NASA confirmed it would assist U.S. government investigations into search for extraterrestrial life following the first congressional hearings on unexplained aerial phenomena, UAP, what we call UFOs, in more than 50 years. However, McKinnon does not think the renewed interest will lead to much more disclosure, and he has questions about the motivations behind it. Quote, "The hearing is not significant at all for disclosure. These hearings, panel discussions, and the like are never fruitful for disclosure," McKinnon explained. He said, "We must not forget the military mentality. The unknown is a threat for a potential tool to use. The disclosure comes from witnesses, not the military or the government, and all they give us are lies," end quote. The former hacker is convinced that the United States is covering up information about UFOs because the ships are so advanced that they are beyond human comprehension, or because they have managed to extract secret technology from mysterious objects that they want to keep hidden. After allegedly hacking into NASA websites, where he says he found images of what looked like extraterrestrial spaceships, the 40-year-old Briton faces extradition to the United States from his North London home. If convicted, McKinnon could receive a 70-year prison term and up to $2 million in fines. After allegedly hacking into NASA websites, where he says he found images of what looked like extraterrestrial spaceships, the 40-year-old Briton faces extradition to the United States from his North London home. If convicted, McKinnon could receive a 70-year prison term and up to $2 million in fine, is what they had printed then. And Wired News, what was your motive or inspiration for carrying out your computer hacking? Was it the War Games movie? Gary McKinnon said, "This is a bit of a red herring. I have seen it, but I was not inspired by it. My main inspiration was The Hacker's Handbook by Hugo Cornwall. The first edition that I read was too full of information. It had to be banned, and it was reissued without the sensitive stuff in it." Wired News asked, "Without this book, would you have been able to do it?" McKinnon said, "I would have done it anyway because I used the internet to get useful information. The book just kick-started me. Hacking for me was just a means to an end." Wired News asked, "In what way?" McKinnon said, "I knew that governments suppressed anti-gravity, UFO-related technologies, free energy, or what they call zero-point energy. This should not be kept hidden from the public when pensioners can't pay their fuel bills." Wired News asks, "Did you find anything in your research or for evidence of UFOs?" McKinnon answered, I certainly did. There is the Disclosure Project. This is a book with 400 testimonials from everyone from air traffic controllers to those responsible for launching nuclear missiles, very credible witnesses. They talk about reverse engineering technology taken from captured or destroyed alien craft." Wired News, like the Roswell incident of 1947? McKinnon, "I assume that was the first, and I assume there have been others. These relied upon people have given solid evidence." Wired News, "What sort of evidence?" McKinnon, "A NASA photographic expert said that there was a Building 8 at Johnson Space Center where they regularly airbrushed out images of UFOs from the high-resolution satellite images. I logged on to NASA and was able to access this department. They had huge high-resolution images stored in their picture files. They had filtered and unfiltered or processed and unprocessed files. My dial-up 56K connection was very slow trying to download one of these picture files. As this was happening, I had remote control of their desktop, and by adjusting it to 4-bit color and low screen resolution, I was able to briefly see one of these pictures. It was a silvery, cigar-shaped object with geodesic spheres on either side. There were no visible seams or riveting. There was no reference to the size of the object, and the picture was taken presumably by a satellite looking down on it. The object did not look man-made or anything like what we have created. Because I was using a Java application, I could only get a screenshot of the picture. It did not go into my temporary internet files. At my crowning moment, someone at NASA discovered what I was doing and I was disconnected. I also got access to Excel spreadsheets. One was titled Non-Terrestrial Officers. It contained names and ranks of U.S. Air Force personnel who are not registered anywhere else. It also contained information about a ship-to-ship transfers, but I've never seen the names of these ships noted anywhere else. Wired News, could this have been some sort of military strategy game or outline of hypothetical situations? McKinnon, the military want to have military dominance of space. What I found could be a game. It's hard to know for certain. Wired News, some may say you have given the UFO motivation for your hacking as a distraction for more nefarious activities. McKinnon, I was looking before and after 9/11. If I had wanted to distract anyone, I would not have chosen ufology, as this opens me up to ridicule. Wired News, tell me about your experiences with law enforcement, the procedures you have gone through. McKinnon, I was arrested by the British National High-Tech Crime Unit March 2002. They held me in custody for about 6 or 7 hours. My own computer and ones I was fixing for other people were taken away. The other machines were eventually returned, but they kept my hard drive that was sent to the U.S. It was November 2002 when the U.S. Department of Justice started their efforts to extradite me. Wired News. The British Crown Prosecution Service dropped charges against you because your activities did not involve British computers. McKinnon. I was to be officially charged in 2003, but a warrant was not given until 2004. In June or July 2005, I was scooped from the street by Scotland Yard. I was kept at Belgravia police station overnight. I just wore what I had on when I was out. I didn't get a chance to wear a suit in court. I was given police bail. Wired News. When will they make a decision about extradition? McKinnon. It's down to the Home Secretary, John Reid. The deadline for representation is 21st June 2006. Even after that date, it could be as much as 11 months for him to decide on my fate. Wired News. How have you been coping? McKinnon. God, is very worrying and stressful. It's been worse because I'm unemployed. I worked on and off in IT, contracting and stuff before this, but no one will touch me with a large barge pole now. So that's what he had said at that time. This is by Myth and Mystery on Collective Spark. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.